If you just graduated high school or you're about to graduate high school, then watch this video. I'm going to explain to you how I had a glow up and actually got in shape and built a good, nice, aesthetic, muscular body right after high school. So back in 2021, that was when the pandemic had just around ended, and I was graduating from high school just then. And actually, I took that opportunity just after getting out of high school to start working out and getting in shape and getting physically built and fit. The thing is, you can do that too. And the reason why that you should do it now is because you are in a very special predicament. So if you are just graduating high school, the thing is, a lot of people in high school, they are cool in high school, they are popular, they're glamorous. Wow. If you actually were one of the labor kids or you weren't in shape, then you technically have won the lottery, because it is actually amazing to be lame in high school. Because the thing is, you do not want to peak in high school. People who peak in high school often teeter off because the habits that they build in high school do not fly, they don't cut it in the real world. And I'll explain why that is later, but it's because they're not used to this lifestyle change. And this is the biggest lifestyle change of your entire life. I gotta say, to be honest, going from high school to being an adult is one of the biggest lifestyle changes of your entire life. Simply because of three factors that I'll talk about. But when that change happens, then you kind of don't know what to do. And so it's very important that you jump on this now, like quick. I graduated in, obviously, June. And then that fall was when I started to look into fitness and get into it. And that is why I'm the person I am today. So the thing is, if you were late in high school, this is fantastic, because then you can take the opportunity to peak after high school. And that is what's going to be so much better, is because everybody's going to talk about you. You're going to be more famous, more popular than just high school. High school is like small fish. When you graduate high school, the first thing you have is time. And these are the three reasons why you need to jump on working out right now. This is the best time for you to jump on it, is because you have time. You've gone from having to be somewhere at a certain time for 8 hours or 7 hours a day to just having free unlimited time, unless you have a job, that is. That's more of your choice. You can choose what you do now do with your time, which is why it's so important that you start working out now. You have all of the time in the world, especially if you don't have a job right after high school. This is the best time right now, because you'll never have more time, more energy, and just more freedom to do what you want, and use that by working out. Number two is habits. So habits, like I said, the habits that you built during high school, like while you're a teacher, are about to change when you graduate. Because, like I said, the status quo is just about to shift. The paradigm of the status quo shift. You want to start to implement these habits, these healthy lifestyle habits, is because you don't realize it now, but like the reason why a lot of adults and like middle-aged people, your teachers may have been fat and out of shape, is because the habits start actually when you become an adult. So like there's habits that you had for all of your childhood, they measure the line, and then there's the rest of your life. People could change, obviously, yes, but the habits are built right here. Like I said, when I was 18, I was turning 19 that December. After I graduated, that's when I started working out. That's why it's such a big part of my life now, is because I implemented those habits right off the rip. And then thirdly is going to be diet. So in addition to having free time, you now have free choices. There's just so much freedom, I gotta say. And the thing is that the freedom can look very tempting to do whatever you want. But it is actually so much more important for you to lock in and actually develop healthier habits that are going to give you the most benefit in the long term. These people in high school who were better and cooler than you, and they were more in shape, they just had the luxury of, sometimes they would eat unhealthy, sometimes they wouldn't, they would jog a bit. But unless they're like really sports athletes, they're not going to stick to it long term. But the thing is, you are, is because if you implement these habits now. Now, the way I actually did get in shape after high school, right after high school, is because I did three things. I did training, I did cardio, and I was consistent with it. Basically, what I did was become an athlete. Now, I was never very athletic in high school. I didn't really join the team or anything like that, but I always liked kind of moving around and being active. But obviously, those things are more issued and mandated by the school. For training, what you want to do is full body calisthenics, basically train like an athlete. So the reason why actually calisthenics are much better is because you can do it right at home. As you can see right there, I've got a pull-up bar. I had that for years. You can do everything at home. Like I said, if you're still living with your parents, obviously this is a massive opportunity, because they still have their jobs and everything. You are at home, and for the summer, yes, you're going to want to relax from being in high school. But the thing is, you really want to take this opportunity, having just gotten your freedom. You have so much time now and freedom that you want to use that at home, and don't spend any money. You don't need to go to the gym or anything. It's the best doing it at home, is because it's easy access. There's also less friction, so you just get up and go do the workouts at home. It also builds you a good habit base. So I recommend, like I said, full body calisthenics, because it hits every muscle and makes you look very aesthetic. If you would like to know my exact workout, like a specific full guide routine, then I suggest that you join the Athletic Lifestyle. I'll put it in the description down below. You can go in there and basically join the community where I teach you literally everything that I went through when I just graduated from high school, and I condensed it all into one program that you can buy. So I recommend checking that out to build an aesthetic body. But like I said, full body hits all of the muscles. You're gonna have muscle, but you're not going to look aesthetic unless you cut fat and get lean, basically. So that's gonna be two factors. It's gonna have to do with your diet and your cardio. So in terms of diet, then what I did is I actually didn't change much. Now, there was, like I said, a lot of unhealthy food. There's a lot of unhealthy food in the school system, in just the system in general. And so by removing myself from school, I actually cut out a lot of that unhealthy junk food. And actually led me to eat just more basic plain foods, nothing too crazy. But the main thing I did to get my diet down was, or to get my, I guess, unhealthy food count down, was actually intermittent fasting. So I would fast like right before I went to bed, and then wake up and not eat anything until like about 10 in the morning or a little bit after breakfast. So I'd skip breakfast. The skip breakfast can actually have massive benefits. On top of this, like I mentioned, cardio, I started walking so much more because I had so much free time. You've got free time to do anything. Why would you waste it on just sitting around? So you're gonna want to be walking about 10,000 steps every day. Make sure you're moving around according to your body weight mass index, which again I'll talk about in the program. But that, and then also cardio, it can be high or low intensity, but I started off with low intensity and saw amazing results in my first year of working out. So by the time it had been a full year of graduating, then I basically looked like a different person. And then lastly is going to be consistency. So training, I was doing cardio and changed my diet to get lean, and then consistency, the consistency is the biggest thing, where you kind of notice, again, like I said, this is the biggest paradigm change. This is the biggest change of your lifestyle. And so we're out 4 years. I've been graduated for about 4 to 5 years. And I look around and I see some of my old classmates on Facebook, and they're not really in shape anymore. The ones that were, jacked in high school. Is because the habits that I did back then, kind of like playing sport, they just did for fun. Whereas I was taking this seriously when I just got out of high school and actually built and developed a strong, sturdy habit to rely on. So if you want to peak after high school, which is what everyone should want to do, because you've got your whole life ahead of you, then you need to be training, building habits, and using your free time and your freedom the right way, correctly, because you can do anything in the world. Don't waste this chance you've been given. Happy graduation.